I just bought an Anycubic Kobra Neo 3D printer from an auction website. I was very uncertain about the entire process and realistically whether I should do it or not. So I figured I would let you guys in on the process and let you know what kind of experience I had with it. Now, this was the main picture for the 3D printer from the auction website. As you can see, it definitely looks a little bit rough. You can tell it's been disassembled, but all in all, it looks like everything's there and it looks like it's in relatively decent shape. Now, this is what I ended up getting from the auction house. As you can see, there's no packing material or anything like that, so everything was just kind of clanking around. That definitely worried me. Even though it was a little bit banged up, it was still what I was looking for. I wanted a direct extruder because I currently am using an Ender 3 3D printer as my main printer. Now, the issue with that, why I was looking for a direct drive extruder, is because I was having a lot of clogging issues with my Ender 3. So I was trying to do a specific STL Flix print of a Halloween jack-o'-lantern, and this is as far as I could get with it before it would end up clogging. Now, on my FlashForge printer, I never ran into that issue when I was trying to print the jack-o'-lantern. So I figured that it could be an issue with the extruder. So that's why I figured I would try this out. Since the 3D printer was only 60 bucks after everything was said and done, I decided that I would give it a shot. And here's how it went. So once I pulled it out of the box, I had to obviously assemble everything. This did not come with any kind of instructions or anything like that, so I had to kind of play it by ear. Now, it is very similar to the Ender 3, however, it's not exactly the same. So I did have a little bit of a struggle with it, but in the long run, I was able to get everything figured out, primarily just by looking at pictures of it. It was all pretty much plug and play. Once I got the 3D printer assembled, I had to level it. Now, I hadn't done a whole lot of research on the Kobra Neo, so I did not realize that it was an auto-leveling bed. So that was a really cool surprise for me because the Ender 3 is all manual, messing with the knobs and all that stuff. So that can be kind of a pain in the butt sometimes to figure out. Now, the auto leveling was very cool. I'm not 100% certain if I did it right, but it seemed pretty straightforward. Once I got that leveled, I went ahead and did a test print. Now, for the test print, I just did this little height gauge, which came with it. And as you can see, it looks like it printed great. No issues with it or anything like that. So that came out fine. The real test would be running the STL that had been giving me a problem on the Ender 3. This is where we are so far, and we're at just under a full day's worth of printing on this. Now, this is just my first run, so I'm taking it very slowly just to make sure that I don't have any kind of issues with my print. It feels a little ambitious to be running such a long print, especially for the first run. However, at almost 24 hours in, we don't seem to have any kind of hiccups. We are getting just a little bit of lifting off the bed, but that could just be my settings or lack thereof. So far, we have not had any clogs or jams or anything like that with the printer. So far, the printer that I got from the auction, used and kind of banged up, is running circles around the Ender 3. However, I have only had this for a day. So, we're going to have to give it a little bit of time and we can do some side-by-side comparisons on which one is better. It could just be the fact that this is a direct extruder. I don't know yet. After 44 hours of printing, this is our result. I think it looks great. If you're curious, this is the filament that I'm using for the print. I did get this on Amazon. I will have a link for that in the description down below. Don't forget to subscribe and check out this other video right here.